Hello friends, in today's session we will understand how we can automate window components. All of us know that Selenium can work only on web applications, right? Selenium is basically a tool for automating the web applications. But sometimes when you're automating a web application, you might come across scenarios where you might come across scenarios where certain window components are encountered. For example, if you are trying to upload a file or when you are trying to download a file, isn't it true that window dialog boxes appear on the screen? Those elements cannot be handled through Selenium. Okay. Now, if such window alerts or window dialog boxes are coming in the web application that you are testing, how to handle them, that is what we are going to learn in today's session. Okay. Now, let me show you a very simple scenario. What I want to do now is, this is a simple automation test case that I have created. I have the test case IDs, the steps that we want to perform, and the step description. The steps are saying you launch Firefox, navigate to Selenium HQ through my automation program. Okay, so my program should launch Firefox and come to this seleniumhq.org site, and the next step says you click on the download tab. I hope everyone is able to see on the Selenium HQ page, we have a download tab, right? So my program should click on that download tab. Of course, we can do that. Selenium can automate it. Now, after clicking on download, my test case is saying you download the Selenium Server standalone jar. Whatever is the latest version of Selenium Server jar, that jar has to be downloaded. Okay. Now, let us see where that jar is actually present. Do you see? The latest version of Selenium jar currently is 2.53.0. This jar has to be downloaded. This is what we are trying to automate. Now, we can ask our Selenium program to click on this link. There's no issue. The moment I click on this link, we see there is a file download window which is coming on the screen. Now, on this window, we are supposed to click on save file, but Selenium cannot do that activity. Selenium cannot click on save file, or it cannot click on cancel. It cannot do any operation on this entire window because this is not a web component. It is a Windows component. Very simple. How do you know whether it is a web component or a window component? What you do is you take the Firebug, and when you put the Firebug on the web application, do you see whichever element I am putting the control on, it is showing me the properties of that element. Whereas when I put the Firebug on the window component, is it showing any properties? No. I hope you are able to see that. When we put the Firebug on any other element, it is actually highlighting that element and it is showing you the information about that element. Whereas when we are putting the control on the window block, nothing is coming up. So this cannot be automated through your Selenium program. But I want to perform a file download operation by clicking on this save file. So how to do that? How to do that? Similarly, I want to upload a file, which is the next test case that I will show you. Generally, when you want to send an attachment along with your mail, isn't it true that a file upload window comes on the screen from where you are supposed to select a file? Now, that file upload window is also a window component which cannot be automated through Selenium. So these scenarios, generally file uploading and downloading, if you want to perform, we have to use certain third-party softwares like what you see on my screen. We can actually use for automating window components. We can try to do that through Sikuli. We can use AutoIT or robot class in Java. Any one of them is sufficient. Now, in our sessions, we will actually learn all the three of them. But if you are good with either Sikuli or AutoIT or robot, that is sufficient. Because what we are trying to do is, in your Selenium automation program, here and there, if a window alert box comes, if a window message box comes, how to overcome that and continue the remaining part of our automation. That is our primary interest. So you can do that through any one of them. Today's session, we will see what is Sikuli, how Sikuli can be integrated with Selenium, and how we can work on the automation of the Windows components. Similarly, in the next sessions, we'll also learn AutoIT and robot. Okay. Now, friends, Sikuli is actually a third-party API. API is nothing but a collection of Java classes. It's just a collection of Java programs, and Sikuli can be used for automating both web applications, and also we can automate Windows applications. Using Sikuli, we can work on both web and Windows, though in our session we'll be concentrating on using it on Windows app. It can be used for web also. Okay. Now, having understood what is Sikuli, let us see how we can download Sikuli. Sikuli is a external software. It's an external jar file which has to be downloaded and added to the project. So you open Google and then you say Sikuli download. In the Google, I'm directly searching for Sikuli download. The very first link you see, download Sikuli script, you can click on that. And here it is showing you a link which says, you know, all you want to know about Sikuli, you can find at this link. You just click on that link. Just click on that link. And on this page, do you see the latest version of Sikuli that is available currently as of now is version 1.1.0. This is the latest version which I would like to download. So let me click on that. It's an external jar file, friends. It's in fact fine. After clicking on that download, probably everyone is able to see here we have the exact jar file which has to be downloaded onto our machine. So let me click on it. The jar file is getting downloaded. It's a very simple small jar file, 2.9 MB. Now once the jar file is downloaded, let's go to downloads. The jar file I have downloaded at this location. This is the jar file that I have downloaded, friends. Just a second. Now when you download the jar file, actually this is what you will see. Okay. Now what we need to do is a very simple step. I'll stop this download operation because it's actually already downloaded on my machine. Fine. Once the jar file is downloaded, the steps that we have to do are just double click on it. Please observe closely. Just double click on it. Now after double clicking on it, it is showing you some options. Out of these options, you select the second checkbox. This is simply saying that you want to use Sikuli with Java on any of the interfaces like Eclipse or NetBeans or any other IDE. Okay, we are trying to do the Sikuli programming through Java. So just click on the second link, the second checkbox. Click on that and click on setup now. Click on yes. Again click on yes. It just takes, click on yes. A few seconds. It's actually extracting the exact jar which can be used in Eclipse or NetBeans or any of our regular IDEs. Okay, friends. I think it has been, I think it's fine. You see, some stuff is coming over here. Don't worry about all these things. The only jar that we will be using is this one, the Sikuli X API. Sorry. The Sikuli X API, this is the only jar file that we require. You add this jar file to your current project. I hope everyone understood what I have done. We just double clicked on the Sikuli setup and we clicked on the second checkbox. It is doing some extraction and it is showing me this jar file. I have to add this jar file to our current project. So let me copy this jar file, the second jar file, copy. Sikuli X API. Okay. Now go to your Eclipse. As always, paste it in the lib folder. To work on Sikuli, we require this third-party jar. Okay. Now add it to the current project. Right click on the project. Click on Properties, Java Build Path, Libraries, Add External Jars. Add the Sikuli jar file. Finish. Once the Sikuli jar file has been added, we can start performing the automation. Now, how Sikuli performs the automation is, it actually uses two different classes for performing this automation. Okay, if you are good with these two classes, it's almost more or less it's over. As you see on the screen, Sikuli automation can be done using the screen class and the pattern class. These are inbuilt classes in the Sikuli jar that we have just now added to our Selenium project. Screen class is used for identifying your entire screen, whatever is present on the desktop, whatever is present on the desktop, this entire screen can be identified using screen class. Within the screen, whatever elements you want to work on, let us say I want to double click on a folder, I want to click on an image, all those images and the folders, they are identified using a class called as pattern. Okay, I'll show you an example, you will understand it, but just see. Two classes we are using. Screen is first used for identifying the entire screen, and once the entire screen is identified, in that screen, which element we are trying to work on, which folder or whatever, that is identified in the format of an image using a class called as pattern class. Now, if these two classes are used, more or less whatever automation we want to handle can be done. Okay, so because we have added the jar file, let us see how to write the program. Okay, the automation test case, as you can see, is downloading the Selenium server jar file. Okay, so I will create a new package. We'll call this package as Sikuli, where we will write the programs. I'll create a class which I will call as file download. So we are trying to do the file download operations using Sikuli. Let's take the main method. Anything, testng, anything is okay. Now, let us write the automation program. The first part of the program is something that Selenium can handle, not a big deal. What should I do? My test case is saying you launch Firefox, navigate to seleniumhq.org, right? So program should launch Firefox and it should navigate to Selenium HQ. Let us write the code. I will say Firefox driver equals to new Firefox driver. The regular automation code, driver.get. What is the URL we are opening? I want to open seleniumhq.org. Now, after opening seleniumhq.org, my test case is saying you click on the download tab. Take the Firebug, identify the properties of download. When you identify the properties of download, we see the HTML tag of our element is coming as a anchor tag, which means it's a link. So if it is a link, we can go with the link text property, right? So I will say driver.find element by link text. What is the link text, friends? Download. And what is the operation we want to perform? We want to perform a click operation. So your Selenium program will click on the download link. Now, after clicking on the download link, we want to download the Selenium server jar file by clicking on the link that I have highlighted. So take the Firebug, identify the properties of this link. You see, again the HTML tag is coming as a, and because it is a link, we will go with the link text property. Okay, driver.find element by link text, and the automation that I want to perform is click. Till here, Selenium can handle. The next part, Selenium cannot handle, so we have to take the help of our Sikuli. First of all, let me run this program till this point. Then we will see how Sikuli comes into picture. We have already added the Sikuli related jar file, so the screen class and the pattern class can be implemented in our program. See, the first part of the program is getting executed. Launching Selenium HQ, going to the download, and of course it's clicking on that link. Now, this part I want to do. I want to click on save file. As we have discussed, it cannot be done through Selenium, so we will take the help of our AutoIT. I'm sorry, we'll take the help of Sikuli. Now friends, what Sikuli performs is, whichever element you are trying to automate, in our case, we want to click on this button called as save file. What we need to do is, we have to identify this one single button and save it as an image. And we can ask our Sikuli program to click on that image. This is how Sikuli performs the automation. Whichever desktop component or web component that Sikuli has to automate, that particular component, only that particular component has to be saved as a image file with .png extension. Okay, how to do that? Now, in our Windows operating system, we have a tool which is called as snipping tool. You just go into search and search for snipping tool. Snipping tool can be used for cutting a section of your page and saving it in the format of in an image format. Okay, by default in your Windows operating system, you'll have this application. Now, what you do is click on this new button, and after clicking on the new button, whichever element you are trying to automate, do you see the save file? I am identifying that save file alone, and I hope everyone is able to see the save file button which I have identified is getting saved over here as an image. So let me save this image. Okay, we'll just save this image. I'll click on save. Okay, we'll save it on the desktop with the name. What is the name we will give? Save file, right? So we'll give the name of this image also as save file. Okay, click on save. So the save file button image has been saved. Now once it is done, let us call our Sikuli to perform the automation. So we have just identified that button. We picked up the using the snipping tool, we just picked up the save file and saved it in an image format. Now there is a class called as screen class. Friends, this screen class comes from org.sikuli. Script. You create an object of that class. I'll call my object as screen equals to new screen. The next class we have to use is pattern class. Pattern is also coming from, you have to be a little careful because the screen class and the pattern class are coming from other packages also. You need to import only org.sikuli script related stuff. Okay, pattern. I will create an object called as pattern equals to new pattern, and here you have to specify the path of the image that we have saved. In our case, the image has been saved on our desktop, right? So whatever is the path of the image, let me give it. Say this is the image. What I'll do is, because multiple images we will be creating, I'll actually create a new folder which I'll call as images, where we will save this file. Okay, because in the next program we'll have more images. Now just give the path of this. I'll go into properties. Currently this is the path. What is the name of this file? Save file.png, right? So just specify the path. Save file.png. Now we know that the single slash should become, because single backslash is an escape sequence in Java, we have to give double backslash. So friends, the screen class, as I told you, would be used for identifying the entire screen. On that screen, pattern class is identifying one particular image. Now, what should I do? I should simply click on that, right? So, you invoke your screen class and then say screen dot click. Where are you trying to click? We are trying to click on an element called as pattern. Finish. Finish. Program is over. So this program is a combination of Selenium till here and Sikuli. Now the result is, you will see the first part of the program will successfully automate the web application. The remaining part of the program, what Selenium is not able to do, handling the window pop-up box, Sikuli will do that. Okay, I'll just give a simple waiting time. Sleeper dot sleep tight. Maybe we'll wait for 4 seconds and then just see what is happening. Let me execute the program. So it's not just for one button. Any kind of elements you want to automate through Sikuli, just identify that element, store it as an image, and perform the necessary operation. Click operation, double click operation, right click operation, everything can be done through Sikuli. Just watch my program. It's launching Selenium. Clicking on download. Now you see, it has to click on save file. It will wait for 4 seconds. It should have clicked by now. Yes. Do you see it's clicking on the save file, and the Selenium server jar is getting downloaded onto my machine. I hope everyone is clear with this program. Okay. Sikuli, we are just asking our program to identify the element. That element we are storing in a class called as pattern class, and we are performing a click operation. The click operation, double click operation, right click operation, drag and drop operation, all these are different methods which are present in the screen class. In this scenario, we have done click operation, but we can do, anything, all the other operations also. Okay. Now, this program, we are seeing how to perform a file download operation using Selenium and Sikuli. Now, I have one more automation test case which says that you perform a file upload operation. See this? This is another test case where we are supposed to launch the Firefox browser, navigate to imgur.com, click on upload images, click on browse your computer and upload an image. So friends, this is what I want to automate in the next scenario. My Selenium program should open imgur.com, which is a website where we can upload some images. Then we should click on Selenium program should click on this. I hope everyone is able to see. We have a button over here, upload images. So my Selenium program should click on that upload images, and then the Selenium program should click on browse your computer. Till here, Selenium can automate. There is no issue. Once I click on browse your computer through the Selenium program, we see that a file upload window has come where I am supposed to select a file. Now, on my desktop, I have an image. My program should in the D drive. Currently, this image is present in the D drive. So, the name of that image is image only. My program should pick up that image and click on open. You see, that image is getting uploaded. This is the image that I have, the star image that you see. This is the image that I have uploaded. So, you want to send some attachments, all those things can be done through the automation we are trying to do now. Okay, Sikuli and Selenium, both we will integrate. Let's write the program. Launch Firefox, navigate to Imgur, click on upload images. Let us write the code. We'll call this program as file upload. Okay, and our regular Selenium automation, we'll give Firefox driver. This will launch a blank instance of Firefox on the screen. Then I have to specify the URL, driver.get. What is the site we are opening? We want to open imgur.com, right? So program launches imgur.com, and on the Imgur home page, we want to click on upload images on this button, right? So take the Firebug, identify the properties of take the Firebug, identify the properties of this upload images. Now you see the HTML tag of our element is span. The developer has given a class property. Let us go with the class as a locator. We will say driver.findElement by class name, ID, name, class name, all these are locators, right? So program will click on it. Now after clicking on upload images, you are going to the next page where we want to click on browse your computer. This is also a web component, so Selenium can handle it. Okay, fine. Now just see the challenge over here. When I am trying to identify the other elements like drag and drop or this control V, enter image URL, everything is getting identified correctly. But when I put the control on browse your computer, though our interest is to identify only browse your computer, do you see, it's actually identifying a bigger section. Do you see that? It's actually identifying a bigger section. So what we need to do is, maybe we have to create our own XPath for the element, or just move a little up or down in the HTML information you see here. Okay, let me expand this HTML stuff. Okay, you see, currently the element we are trying to work on is this one. I mean, we want to work on this particular element. I just want to click on browse your computer, but when we are placing the firebug, it is identifying a bigger element. The HTML tag of that big element is input, but if I move a little up to the level of the parent, do you see, the parent of that element is actually div. I hope everyone is able to see this. When I place the mouse control exactly on div, friends, are you able to see that on the web application, our exact element is getting highlighted? When I put the control on div, our exact element is getting highlighted, right? So identify the properties of that div. You see, for this div, the developer has given ID property. I just want to click on it. So let us take the ID and we will say driver dot find element by ID property, and the operation to be done is click operation. Finish. We'll just give a small wait statement. Sleeper dot sleep tight. Maybe we'll wait for 4 seconds. Okay. The remaining part cannot be handled through Selenium. We have to take the help of Sikuli for that, right? Okay. Anyhow, let me run this part of the program. Then we will integrate it with Sikuli. Okay. So click on run. See what is happening. You know, actually the window, probably it's not coming in full format, right? So let me terminate the program. Just a second. We'll actually expand the browser. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Okay, so that we'll get the window in the complete. Fine. So let me run the program now. These programs can be integrated with our regular TestNG, JUnit, whichever you want. Okay, just because we are learning a new concept, I'm showing it on the main method. You can put this code anywhere. Launch Firefox. Now program should navigate to Selenium HQ, but I'm sorry, to imgur.com. Oh, something went wrong. Just a second, friends. Why it's not going to the required site? It says it's undefined. It should not happen. imgur http. Fine. Let us just try it one more time. I don't know what is the issue, but let's run the program one more time and check it. In fact, it's taking a lot of time. It should not take so much time. Okay. I think I should remove Skype from the default page. It's just directly going to Skype and it is stopping over there. Oh. You know, previously when the manage was not there, I think it was working properly, right? Just a second. Okay, fine. Let us see. This could happen, you know, due to various reasons. The browser could be updated and it's not supported by the current Selenium jar file that I'm using. Any incompatibility issue. So if it's not working, we'll try to troubleshoot it. Fine. Now it's working. Now it's working. So it's going to imgur.com and it should click on upload images. Yes. Click on browse your computer. Yes, brilliant. And now this part where we are supposed to select a file. Currently, the path it is showing is desktop, whereas the file that I am trying to select is present in the D drive, right? In the D drive, the name of the file is image. So what my Sikuli program should do is, it should come to this location where you are supposed to enter the file name, and it should enter the location D/ the name of the file is image dot whatever is the extension, and then click on the open button. These are the two steps that Sikuli has to automate. Okay, so let us see how to do that. Whenever you are automating anything through Sikuli, first of all, capture a snapshot of that element. In this example, I want to enter some text in this location and I want to click on the open button. These are the two components we have to automate, right? So take your snipping tool, and using the snipping tool, the first element is file name, right? So I am identifying the file name element. This is the location where I am supposed to enter the name of the file. Do you see? The snipping tool is capturing only the input field where you are supposed to enter the file name. Okay. Now I will save this file. I'll save this file. We'll give some name to it. In fact, I'll save it in the folder that I have created. We created a folder called as images, right? I will call this as input. Just leave it as input field. Okay. Similarly, the next thing that I have to work on is the open button. So again, you take your snipping tool and identify the open button. Okay, from where it is starting and where it is ending, I am identifying the open button, and again I will save this open button. Also, we'll give the name as open. Okay, so friends, in this program we are capturing two images. Let me show you what those two images are. We have saved them on the desktop, right? See, these are the two images that we have to work in the program. The button called as the input field called as input, and the button called as open. Okay, so let's create our program. We will create a screen class object. Let's call the object as screen equals to new screen. And once the object is created, let's start the pattern creation. Pattern, we require two different objects. Pattern1 equals to new pattern, and specify the location where the input field is present. Okay, this is the location where our input field is present. So I'll give the path. This is the name of the field is input.png, and you know, the single backslash we are putting as double backslash. Similarly, the next image, I'll create one more object. Pattern, we'll call it as 2 equals to new pattern, and again we'll give the same path. But the name of that button is open. The name of that image is open.png. So two elements we are identifying, two elements we saved in the PNG format, and now let's start the automation. Friends, what my program should do is, after clicking on browse your computer, it should enter some text over there, right? Previously, we have seen how to do click operation, whereas now I am supposed to enter the text over there. So I will say screen dot, we have a command called as text. Specify the text that you want to enter. What is the location where you are trying to enter the text? I want to enter it at pattern1. And what is the text that you are trying to enter? I want to wait, just a second. Screen dot, type, friends. I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. It's not text. The method we have to use is type method, screen.type, and specify the element where you are trying to work on and what are you trying to enter. I want to enter d/image.gif. This is the image I am trying to currently upload. The name of the image is image and the extension is DIF. It's present in my D drive. Okay. Now, now after specifying that, the next thing I want to do is I want to click on the open button. So we will say screen dot, the method is click. We have already used this click method in the last program, right? Screen dot click. Where are you trying to click? We want to click on pattern 2. So file upload we can successfully perform through this program. Let us check whether it is working or not. It's taking too long, right? It's taking actually too long. Maybe, let me close unwanted applications. It's slowing down the speed of my program. Let me run the program one more time. So friends, as you can see, it's launching our site imgur.com. Expand the browser. Now click on upload images. Browse your computer. Now wait for 4 seconds and observe closely. It should enter the file name at that location, file name location. It is doing something wrong, I identified the file name, but my program is clicking on libraries. Something went wrong. The image identification has gone wrong. It happens very frequently. Okay, let me just check something went wrong. We are actually telling our program to go to this image, right? Input.png. Yes, it is input.png only. The name of the file is input and the extension is png. Why my program is misbehaving? Okay, fine. Let's run it one more time. This is pure Selenium code, so there's no issue. The first part of the program is working fine, but now when you are supposed to enter file name, you see, it's actually clicking on libraries and then trying to click on the open button. Why it is going to libraries? I don't know. Fine. One more time. I'll just take my snipping tool. Maybe we have and using the snipping tool, I will identify the file name element one more time. Okay, let me just identify this block once again. Okay, and we will save it. I'll give a different name for it. I'll call it as input 1. Okay, maybe the previous one was not identifying our element correctly, so I have taken the properties and now fine. So in the program, in the place of input, the new file is input1.png, right? Let us try it. It happens, if there are slight similarities with other elements, Sikuli tends to work on other elements also. Okay, let's check it now. Opening imager. Okay, fine. Now see. Fine. Now it's working correctly. You see, it's entering d/image.gaf and clicking on. You see the file whichever we are trying to upload has it's getting uploaded onto the web page. Now the downside of Sikuli, if you probably observed the programs closely, the disadvantage of Sikuli is whatever elements you are trying to identify and automate, for all those elements we have to create a object repository where so many images are stored. Just imagine if there are 10 images, I mean 10 different elements that Sikuli has to automate. All those 10 elements have to be saved in image files and you have to save it at some location. So the maintenance of these images, it becomes very difficult. That is one disadvantage. Other disadvantage of Sikuli and Selenium integration is, in the new build, let us say the pixel coordinates of this element have changed even a little, or the element has moved from one location to another location. There is a possibility that the Sikuli program will fail. So we have to be, a little careful. We have to cross check even if minor changes are done to that element, these images will not identify that element exactly. So that is the downside of Sikuli. Or whatever elements are there, all the elements have to be saved as different images. That's, the size of these, the number of images that we have to save can become too huge. That is one thing, and it can't really successfully adapt to all the changes. Now, truthfully speaking, Sikuli has the capability of automating not only Windows components, as we have seen on the screen. It can also automate web applications. Okay. Now, though what I'm trying to show you now is not a preferred way of doing it, I just want to show you. We say that Selenium can automate web applications, but there are certain web components which cannot be automated through Selenium. For example, if my application has lot of Flash components or Flex components, Selenium, though these are web components, Selenium cannot work on Flash and Flex components. Okay, so if you find that somewhere in your automation program you are not able to, your Selenium program is not able to identify some web application, some web component, correctly using the Firebug, in those scenarios we can actually use Sikuli. So Sikuli can be used not only for handling Windows components. Selenium, if it is not able to automate a particular web element, that can also be done through Sikuli. Okay. Now, just to enhance your knowledge, what I am trying to show you, this is not the correct way of doing, but I just want to show you that through Sikuli, whatever I have done in my Selenium program, completely Sikuli can do that. Let's take the first test case that we have automated. Just look at the program, the download program. We see that the first part of the program is done through Selenium and the remaining part of the program is done through Sikuli. But I can actually use Sikuli for doing all the steps, which means whatever automation has been done through Selenium, that can also be done through Sikuli. But again, I'm saying this is not the correct approach. You always automate your web application through Selenium. Only if Selenium is not able to handle some components or only some window components are encountered, you use Sikuli. Okay. Otherwise, don't come to Sikuli. Okay. Now, how to automate this complete program through Sikuli? Say this. Manually, if I want to perform this program, automation program, what do? You will double click on the Firefox, the shortcut, right? Manually, this is what we do. So I can tell my Sikuli program, Sikuli, you just come to the desktop, and on the desktop, you double click on the Firefox. Now, after double clicking, I can tell my Sikuli to identify this input field and then enter seleniumhq.org. Sikuli will do that. Whichever element you want, Sikuli will do that. So Sikuli will enter it. Similarly, I can ask my Sikuli to click on this download button by identifying that as a separate image. Then we can ask our Sikuli to click on 2.53.0 and also click on save file. Previous example, we have introduced Sikuli only for automating this. but the complete web application launching and everything can be done through Sikuli. This is just to enhance your knowledge that I'm showing the program. Do not try to automate your web application through Sikuli. Always use Selenium. Sikuli should be used as far as Selenium is concerned only when Selenium is not able to automate a particular element. Okay. So let's write the program. The first part is I have to double click on this Firefox, right? So just a second, I will delete all these older images. Now what I will do is, as always, we will take our snipping tool, identify the Firefox, just identify this Mozilla Firefox shortcut that you see on my desktop. Okay, now let me save this. I'll save this image within our folder. Let's call it as Firefox, or we'll call it as Firefox. The first image has been saved. Now your program will double click on this image, not an issue. Now after double clicking on that, the next thing that we are supposed to do is we have to enter the URL. So again you take the snipping tool, and through the snipping tool, you see I am identifying the location where you are supposed to enter the URL. This is the location, right? Just a second. Let me identify it again. This is the location where we will enter our URL. So I'm just identifying that, and we will call this as URL because we are entering the URL. Okay. Now after entering the URL, we need to click on the enter, which I'll show you. Enter button. Selenium will Sikuli will click on it. Now we are supposed to click on download. You see, I hope everyone is understanding. The problem is we have to create more and more number of images. Now again I will take the snipping tool. This time you identify this download tab. The download tab has been identified. Save this. We will call this as download. Some meaningful names we are giving. Okay. Now after that, after clicking on download, your program should click on 2.53.0. Again the same drama. Take your snipping tool, okay, and identify the element where you are trying to do a click operation. This is the element we want to click on, right? So just identify that and give some name to it. I'll call it as, let's give the same name, 2.53.0. Okay, so your program will click on this Sikuli program, entirely Sikuli, and the final operation is click on the save file. Okay, so take the snipping tool again and identify the properties of save file. You're just identifying it as an image. I'll call it as save file. So friends, these are the different images that my Sikuli has to automate in this current program. Just look at the screen. This is the first one. Your program should click on the Firefox, double click on the Firefox, then it should enter the URL, then it should click on download, it should click on this link 2.53.0, and then it should click on save file. Okay, so let us create our Sikuli program. I'll just remove this complete program. We'll just use the screen class. Screen equals to new screen. Now once the screen class object has been created, we know that we have to create pattern classes, right? Pattern, let's call the first pattern as, I'll call it as image1 equals to new pattern equals to new pattern. Now what is the first element on which we are supposed to work? We want to work on this Mozilla Firefox shortcut, right? So take the properties of that element. The name of that is, I have given the name as Firefox. Of course, the extension is PNG. So this is the first image that my Selenium program, the Sikuli program, should double click on. Okay. Similarly, identify the other images also. I think we have 5 images overall, right? So I'll just copy this code. You see, the problem is more number of images. You have to save all these images in this format. Image 3, image 4, and the last one is image 5. Of course, the next one is the name I have given is URL. The next element name I have given is download. The next element is 2.53.0. These are the names I have given, and the last element is save file. I hope all of you remember. These are the exact names we have given for all our file images. You know, Firefox, URL, download, 2.53.0, save file. Okay. Now, once all the elements are identified, see how I will write the program. The first step is my program should double click on this Firefox, right? So, you call your screen class object. Okay. Just a second. Now, see, I will call the screen class object screen dot, I'll say double click. We have a method called as double click. Where are we trying to double click? I want to double click on image 1. So image 1 is nothing but the Firefox browser. Program will click on it. Now, when you double click on that the Firefox browser, we see that it actually takes some time to come on the screen, right? You see, when I double click on Firefox, maybe it is taking 2 seconds or 3 seconds to launch the Firefox browser. Sikuli, you have to specify, okay, you wait for some time, otherwise it does not wait. Okay, how do you wait in Sikuli? Very simple. You say screen dot, we have a method called as wait, and here you have to specify two parameters. The first one is I want to wait for image 2. What is image 2, friends? Image 2 is nothing but URL. You wait for image 2 and how much time you want to wait. So your program will wait for IMAGE, right? Fine. Your program will wait for a maximum time of 5 seconds. For which element? It will wait for this URL. Once it comes on the screen, I have to send some data. We have seen in the last example that type is the command for sending data into the text fields. So we will say screen dot type, call the type method, and the parameter is image 2. Image 2 is nothing but the URL. Don't be confused. And there, what is the data you want to enter? I want to enter HTTP seleniumhq.org. Program will enter seleniumhq.org. Then I am supposed to hit the enter button. This is how we can do. We can say screen dot type keys. We have a class called as keys, and here I'll say keys dot enter. Now again the same thing. Just wait for a few seconds. Screen dot, I'll say wait. This time we are trying to wait for the download tab. That download tab is identified using image 3. Wait. Why this type method is giving an error? Let me just check it. Screen dot type keys dot enter. But the type method, I think type method does not support. The method type is not applicable for the argument. Okay, fine. No issues. I think we have another method for handling this. Dot, I'll say text. Let's try with this. Keys dot enter. No, not even text. Oh, screen dot. Just a second, friends. I forgot the exact method. Capture. Just a second. Double click, drag and drop. I remember using the type method only, but that should not happen. Keys down, keys up. Okay, fine. Let's not waste our time. I'll just Google it. Just give me a second. I actually forgot how to click on the enter key in Sikuli. So I'll just go into Google and we'll simply say how to enter in Sikuli. So maybe we can go to any of these links. It says you give the command type. Oh, sorry, it's not keys, friends. The class is key.enter. I'm extremely sorry. Fine. So you can give screen.type. The type command, type method is the correct one, but I took the wrong class. It's not keys. It is key.enter. Okay. I took a wrong class called as keys. Fine. So your program will hit the enter, and after hitting the enter, which means the next thing is you have to click on this download. We'll wait for a few seconds. Again, the same drama. We'll say image 3. Maybe you wait for 5 seconds. After waiting for 5 seconds, I want to click on it. So I will say screen.click. Where are we trying to click? Now I want to click on this download image, which is saved in a pattern called as image 3. So we'll just say click on image 3. And again the same drama, wait for a few seconds, but this time you wait for image 4. Image 4 is nothing but the next link we want to click on. Okay, and this time I want to click on image 4. Okay, I'll explain the program, don't be confused. The problem with Sikuli is because we are maintaining a lot of images, after a point of time it becomes a little confusing. Image 4 is nothing but the 2.53.0 link. Okay, now again after clicking on the image link, we will wait for a few seconds. We'll wait for a few seconds. This time we are waiting for image 5, and the last operation is clicking on image 5. Okay, whatever elements we are trying to automate in this scenario, we just stored them in the format of images. Now try to understand what the program is actually performing. Okay, just say this. Program should double click on Firefox. The Firefox has been stored in a variable called as image1. So initially I am saying screen dot double click. Where are you double clicking? Image1. So program will launch the Firefox browser. We are waiting for 5 seconds. And we are saying wait for image 2. Wait for 5 seconds for image 2 to come on the screen. Image 2 is nothing but the URL, the next image we are trying to work on. So once that image 2 comes on the screen, we are saying it's an input field. We are saying you enter the text seleniumhq.org and then you hit the enter button. Wait for 5 seconds for image 3 to come on the screen, which is the download button, and then click on that image 3. Wait for again 5 seconds for image 4 to come on the screen, which is the final link 2.53.0, and then click on that link. Finally, wait for 5 seconds, click on the save file. So in this entire code, we did not put any Selenium related commands, but through Sikuli, you will see that web application and Windows application both will get automated. Okay, so let me run the program. You see, it's double clicking on the Firefox browser. We have given wait time for 5 seconds. Maybe if it's not sufficient, you increase the time. Now it should enter seleniumhq.org. Probably that time was not sufficient. It's still working. Maybe let's wait. We should not ideally disturb the mouse when the program is working, because Sikuli will try to simulate the mouse movements. I think it should have performed the automation by now. Yes, it's generating an error. Let's see what is the problem. It says cannot find url.png. Just a second. Is it the exact name that I have given in my program? The image is URL. Brilliant. properties, PNG only. Fine, fine. So probably the synchronization problem. So what I will do is the time delay we have given for 5 seconds maybe is not sufficient. We'll increase the time. Okay, we'll wait for 10 seconds. Oh, wait. Let me stop the program, execute it one more time. See, this part I'm showing you only for, for your understanding purpose, that Sikuli can be used for working on web application also, though ideally we don't prefer to do that. Okay, so friends, is it entering, it's going to that input field? Yes, brilliant. It's entering seleniumhq.org. Then it should click on the download tab. The problem is only with synchronization. You have to give a little more time if 5 seconds is not sufficient. You see again the same problem. The 5 seconds time is not sufficient. Probably we have to put more time delays. You see, that's the problem. Fine, doesn't matter. It's clicking on enter. Now I will again say, okay, you wait for 10 seconds. Let's make it as 10 seconds everywhere. 5 seconds is not sufficient in my case. Okay, entire program for every element we are giving the synchronization time as 10 seconds. Okay, fine. See what is happening. It's double clicking on the Firefox browser. Entering our URL, clicking on the enter button. Once the page is loaded, yeah, it's clicking on download. Brilliant. It was just problem with time. Now it should click on 2.53.0. Brilliant. And finally, it should click on save file. Maybe, maybe I think I need to increase the time again. Maybe 10 seconds is also not sufficient in the final scenario. But I hope everyone understood the concept, right? The program is still working, friends. It's still working. It's not yet over. Should not take so much time. It's getting delayed. Fine. Now you see the mouse is moving and it's going and clicking on the save file. So, it's just a synchronization issue. You actually, if you observe, you will see that it's simulating the mouse movement. The mouse is moving from one location to another location through Sikuli. It's going to that location and performing the click operation. Though this is not the correct way of programming, I just wanted to show you that Sikuli can be used for working on both web applications and Windows application. But the correct way of working with Selenium is always do the web application automation through Selenium. Only when Selenium cannot handle those components, you introduce Sikuli in its place. Okay, don't try to do everything with Sikuli. Only in those scenarios where your web application is heavy with Flash components or Flex components and Selenium is not able to identify them, in those scenarios probably you can introduce Sikuli. Okay, fine friends. So just go through these programs again. I'll stop the session. In the next session, we'll see how to work on the other tools, AutoIT and Robot. Okay, so have a nice day. Bye for now.